everywhere. This is today another GMP Detox session. It will be about software development and validation and GAMP and auditing. So we will go through that. So today I want to start with a screen that I shared. Basically, it's a very old one, so we should think that people might have understood it. So it's from 2007. Now it's 2024. And it was written by the PICS. Guys are doing a fantastic job. And this is PI 011. We should remember that this recommendation on computerized systems was written by the PICS during the time period of GAMP 4. So today we are, since 2008, at GAMP 5, and since 2022 with GAMP 5 second edition. And people are telling you a lot about GAMP and or CSA and so on. Okay, so let's go to the real topics, which are really important. And we go back here to 2007. So there are some very nice sentences. I just will read it. There needs to be a formal planned approach by the developer to assure that quality is built into the product. There are really some golden magic sentences in here. Even it's old, it's still very, very true. So this is saying a formal planned approach by the developer, so by the suppliers of computerized systems, of software systems, of applications, of tools, and so on. And sometimes in a regulated environment, we are a little bit arrogant because we think, because we have validated a system, that it works better. Basically, the mission of validation is that a system is fit for the intended purpose. So you apply it to the real business processes. But the quality of software of a system can only be created by developers during the development phase. If it would be true that by testing or validation, we would improve the quality of a system or a patch or whatever, then it would mean that if we validate it 2 or 3 times, that the quality would get better. And this does not happen. The only place where software is getting quality, usability, is during the development phase. So it's very important. We can validate a system which is not well designed or does not have a good usability. We know such systems. It won't get better by validation. Other industries are not doing a validation. Their software quality or software quality assurance is a part of the normal project lifecycle. The next sentence, which I really like, is that's really magic. The objective of testing during software development at the supplier should be to try to break the structural integrity of the software and find any weaknesses through a rigorous testing regime. So if we think about GAMP and people telling you about we do the GAMP approach and whatever, talking about software categories 3, 4, and 5, and saying, yes, informal testing with CSA, you must switch to that. It's all stupid, sorry. But here you see it, thinking in the real GAMP categories or GAMP approach. Unit or module testing, integration testing, yes, that's part of the development. For sure. Then we have the system testing. And I find it very funny that a lot of pharmaceutical companies think that they must do the system testing. The system testing followed by the user acceptance testing. The system testing should be done by the supplier. So if I do an audit, and sometimes I have a little fight with the CEOs and so on to say, yeah, we should do a supplier audit on site of your service system provider. During this audit, you can check if they have a formal planned approach for the software development, and you will most probably start looking on the organizational chart. Usually you see their CEO, then you see their head of accounting and then sales and blah, 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 blah. But you also see there one wing saying we have, for example, developers for the standard release, for example, and we have a group of developers, usually more junior or something like that, who are supporting the projects that we have, the customer clients project stuff, something like this. So it's more configuration, and the hardcore programming of the standard release is done maybe by a different group. That could happen. If I see something like this, I would also ask, okay, where is your rigorous testing regime? It could happen that the people say, and this happens in the moment very often, I'm sometimes not very happy about the quality of software, irrespective it's a pharmaceutical med dev software application or whatever, or with the currently with the Microsoft products. I think Office and Outlook, it's horrible. It's a very cheap development, not of a good quality. So this happens also to us in the regulated industry. And I ask in the org chart, where is your rigorous testing regime? It could happen that you have a kind of a QM manager, something like that, working half time just before pension and providing PDF files or Word documents, which must be handwritten, signed by the developers. This is exactly how you catch these guys, the developers, with a stupid QM approach. Anyhow, if the developers are using Jira, then you put something in like Confluence, you put in your quality system in that, and you can apply software development methodologies like CMMI or Agile, Scrum, or whatever. Even it could happen that now the supplier is saying, yeah, we do Scrum. Yes, then you check it. Where's the Scrum Master? The sprints are recorded. What are your acceptance criteria before you deploy a new patch to a customer? Or is it the responsibility of the customer to do the functional testing? Sometimes I do not see this rigorous testing regime. What a great English word, rigorous testing regime, which is trying to break the structural integrity. We can't do that as end users. We are doing black box testing. These guys can do white box testing, test automatization, and so on. Where's the rigorous testing regime? And then they could say, yeah, but it's only software category, blah, 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 or something like this. I don't care. If still someone thinks outside of the GMP Detox sessions that a technical parameter, if a system is configured or not configured or customized or whatever, does directly correlate to the GMP risk or GCP, GLP risk, no. Then you should go back to university and ask if you can give back your certificate or your whatever, because it didn't work understanding causality and correlation. So it could happen. So just try to find out, if you're a supplier, implement a rigorous testing regime. Your products will get better. It's not nowadays an agile approach to do 80-20 Pareto principles or something like this, and it will work or it will not work. No, we want to provide good products, and before software code or parts of that as a patch or whatever is leaving the company to the client, we will put before that a rigorous testing regime trying to break the structural integrity of software. So you have happy customers and less efforts always to do bug fixing, and so on. For clients, have an eye on that during the audit. Try to find a rigorous testing regime at your supplier. Who is doing that? What are the acceptance criteria? How is software released to the customer? And I think, again, this is from 2007. Don't start discussions about CSA and whatever and so on. That's totally useless. The point is, software quality is only created and provided during development. And development internally, if they have a dedicated testing team, a professional testing team, which we can't have. It's a different discipline, then the product is getting better and not based on customer inputs or whatever. It's done internally. And again, going back to GAMP 5, second edition, module integration testing. Developers might also do a different testing approach, which is called the source code review, then followed by the system test. I do not talk about IQ, OQ, PQ, no? That's process validation. Then we do the system test at the supplier side. You get a report out of that, and then you get the code delivered, and then you do your user acceptance testing based on your process flows, on your data flows. Then we put into the data, so then we have data quality. But first of that, you must have the software quality. So that was a little bit special today with some hopefully very clear and understandable words. I hope you have enjoyed it. I did a poll about the next sessions, but first I did this one. I want to have great systems. Again, 2007, it's not new, and some companies, but also validation managers still struggle to implement that or to verify that. So again, this is absolutely great written. Thanks to PICS. It's not coming out of my mouth. It's absolutely great. So just remember that for your next audit at the supplier side, search for the rigorous testing regime. Have fun with that. Okay, bye-bye.